Hello everyone, welcome to Othello Flips on how to start winning in Othello Milestone 6. If you have been enjoying my video so far, do click on the like button below. Let's move on to today's content. Okay, so for this video, I'll mainly cover on Stoner Trap and attacking of unbalanced ages. Okay, pattern recognition on common positions. After gaining some playing experience, a player will occasionally come across certain common positions. Knowing how to exploit these positions for advantage allow the player to actually gain a lead in the game. So yep, it'll be mainly these two, which I'll be covering, Stoner Trap and Unbalanced Ages. Okay, so we will first look at a sample position on a Stoner Trap. Okay, in this position, it is White's turn to play. You may want to pause the video for a moment to actually take a look at the position. Okay, so for the first move, White will actually attempt to control this diagonal over here. And after which, since he has played an X square, Black will try to gain access into here by maybe either cutting on here or here. So on the next step, White will play a move inside here. Okay, and he will actually threaten to take the H1 corner. So Black cannot take on here because you'll give away this corner. Okay, so what Black will do here is Black will take the corner, and after that, White will actually capture this corner. So mainly the objective for White here is to attempt to take this corner by exploiting this particular position. Okay, and after which Black's turn here, Black's position here is actually not very good. So White will not play this here. He will hold on until there's a correct opportunity. So after White proceeds here, Black is basically losing because White is going to do a sweeping in this direction. Okay, so this is what the Stoner Trap is about. Okay, let's look at more scenarios. Okay, the position is quite unique in the sense that there are conditions for it to actually work. Okay, so there must be a diagonal control with non-poison, access into the X square, access to attack the opponent's edge, and the presence of poison beast to prevent opponent from capturing the edge. Okay, what do I mean? Let's look back at the diagram again. Okay, I'm going to alter the position a bit. So let's say I change the color of the G4 Okay, so now you realize that once White plays into G7, he actually does not have access into the H6 square to attack the H to get H1. So this is the first condition. They must be actually access into here. Okay, next, let's amend the position again. Now I'm going to change the C3 disc to black color. So now if White plays here, before he could enter H6, Black can actually directly take the corner already. So now in this case, there's no way White can get into this corner because if he plays here, Black will just recapture along the edge. Okay, so that's the second condition, perfect diagonal control. Okay, let's amend the position again. So I'm going to reset the C3 this back to white. And now I'm going to change the C7 this to white. So now if you notice, after this move, this whole row will be flipped. So if let's say black plays this move to gain access to the corner, and if white plays here, black does not have to take the corner, but black will actually capture the edge because this row is being unpoisoned by the C7 this in the first place. So when executing the stoner trap, do take a look on all these conditions on whether, do take a look on the bulk condition on whether the trap is actually can be executed. Okay, now it is white's turn to play for this position. You may want to pause the video for a moment and consider where should white play. The idea for the next few boards, the next 3 boards, is to find a way to actually make the stoner trap happen and not to find the best move. Okay, so pause the video and consider the position for a moment. Okay, so over here, notice that white does not have access into G2 square. So what white could do is play E1 over here and force black to play D1 in order to defend the H1 corner immediately. And after that, white can do a diagonal control over here. And after black plays this, the stoner trap can be executed. Okay. So white should win from here by sweeping in this direction and leaving this square to the last if possible. Okay, let us go to the next position. Okay, over here, it is also white's turn to play. Do pause the video for a moment and try to see how to make the stoner trap work. Okay, so let's observe the position for a moment. Notice if white directly does a diagonal control at G2. After that, white actually could not access into the H4 square. And if white access into the E1 square, sorry, if let's say black cuts here and white access into the E1 square, black could just take it over here. And the stoner trap is actually not going to happen. So what can actually be done here is white plays into H4 and black plays H3 to defend the H8 corner. And then white does the diagonal control at this moment. Okay. Why is it this moment that is critical? It's because after feeding black the H, at this moment that black has this here, so when white entries into D1 and black captures back, he will cause a flipping along this diagonal. So this is how it looks like. This move. And then white attacks. So if black takes F1, he will flip G2, which is this key this. Okay, so if black takes this, white could still wedge, and there's still access into here, basically. Can still go into A1. So from here, you will learn that stoner trap is also possible for a 3D scenario like this. Okay, let's look at the next position. Okay, for this position, it is white's turn to play. Pause the video for a moment and see if you can find a way for the stoner trap to work. Okay, so over here, the most glaring thing is if white access into this area, black, and if black captures here, there's sort of a lack of poison disease, a poison scenario along the G column here. So meaning that if white managed to gain access into here, and after that plays inside, black could take the edge without flipping anything along this column. Okay, so what white should try to do here is try to build disease into these two squares. So everything will connect in this manner. So the first move could either be G2 or G3. And if let's say black tries to prevent white from controlling the diagonal by playing this move in order to flip the d5 this. So if white plays in, black can take the H1 corner immediately. So in order to maintain the diagonal control, white will try to recapture this back. And you realize that there's no way for black to stop white from going in except playing for a funny move like that. Okay, we shall give away the A8 corner. So if black plays here next, white can do the diagonal control. If black cuts over here, white will be in time for the stoner trap. So there'll be an exchange like this. Okay, this type of stoner trap has a special name. It's called the floating stoner. Okay, for those who have considered G2 as the first move, G2 is also possible. So after this can be executed in this manner too. So the stoner trap can still work with G2. Okay, let us move on. Okay, attacking of unbalanced edges. So unbalanced edge is edge with 5 pieces with the corner unoccupied. So let's look at an example of attacking an unbalanced edge first. Okay, for this video, it is white's turn to play. So this is what we call unbalanced edge. 5 pieces with the corner unoccupied. Sorry, I meant the H8 corner and not the A8. So this is a case of an unbalanced edge with the connecting corner unoccupied. Okay, so it's white's turn to play. So this is how an unbalanced edge is being attacked. We play this at the X square here. So the idea is if black takes the corner, white can wedge inside B8 over here. And after that proceeds to capture the corner at the opposite end. Okay, so it's usually advantageous in situations like this where you get to actually sweep the whole board. So let's say now if it's black's turn, black could play this or play this. So yep, black actually ran out of moves in this case and is winning definitely for sure. maybe there's a better sequence, but it's quite winning already. Okay, so back to the main point. This is about attacking unbalanced edge. So let us move on. Okay, to successfully attack the unbalanced edge, the following conditions must be fulfilled. Access to X square, the presence of poison disc to prevent creeping after playing the X square, access to C square after opponent captures corner. Okay, we will look at some board positions on all these following conditions. Okay, for this position, it is white's turn to play. So do recognize that why attacking of the unbalanced edge at the top actually does not work. So if white plays here, black will not play h1, giving white g1 in the process because black have the option of playing g1 followed by h1 later. So when attacking the unbalanced edge, you do need to actually pay attention to whether there are any poison discs along the column for the attack to be successful. So what do I mean? Let's change one of the discs along the G column to black. So now, if white plays here, black cannot creep into G1 because you will flip the G column, giving white H1 immediately. Okay, so the presence of the poison disc is important, or this will happen. Okay, let's look at another scenario. Okay, for this spot position, it is white's turn to play. So to take a look on why the attack of the unbalanced edge on the left side cannot happen, and mainly because white does not have access to B2. So being able to play is actually important. So let us amend this here. So if let's say this is black, then the attack will be possible. Or if this is black, it's also possible like this. Okay, so for the attacking of unbalanced edge to happen, the access to the X square must be there. Okay, let us look at another board position. Okay, for this board position, it is white's turn to play. So you may want to pause the video for a moment and see why is the attack not possible. Okay, so white couldn't attack black's unbalanced edge on the right because if G2 is being played, black could actually just play into H2 followed by H1, mainly because the poison discs, the discs here are all being flipped away. Okay, so is it actually a permanent issue? It may be, it might not be, it depends on the situation. So if white doesn't play here, what could white do is maybe play b5. And after which, if black plays b6, white could actually make the attack over here possible by playing a7. Okay, no doubt white is not leading here, but let's say after this move, white could pull this off and black cannot enter h2 without flipping anything along the second row. Okay, so the main point is do pay attention to the poison along the column here. I mean along the row here when you attack the unbalanced edge. Okay, let's look at the next position. Okay, for this spot position, it is white's turn to play. So there's an unbalanced edge on the left side for black. Do notice why the attack cannot happen. So you may want to pause for a moment to take a look. Okay, so in order to attack the unbalanced edge, white could play b2. And what will happen is black will take the corner, and you'll realize that white does not have access into a2, mainly because all these pieces are black. So this is another scenario where the attack on the unbalanced edge cannot be successful. So in order for it to be good, you may need a white disk along here. So if let's say this is white, then the attack will be possible because that's flipping in the first place. Okay, let me move back a few steps and reset the board. Okay, so if you're the white player here, obviously white is running out of moves. He's not going to give away the A corner in this manner. So what could white do is take advantage of the fact that the region here is odd and play in this manner first, threatening to take the A corner, forcing black to take A1. After which white can wedge here and passing the board position back to black to handle. Okay, no doubt white is not winning, but this is still better than playing this move first. Okay, let us move on. Okay, it might not be necessary to attack an unbalanced edge immediately. Okay, so what do I mean? Okay, for this spot position, it is white's turn to play. So you may want to pause the video for a moment and take a look at what should white play over here. Okay, so what I meant here is it is not necessary for white to attack an unbalanced edge immediately, even though the option is available. Why? Because this is a place where black will not play. Black will not give you the corner here and let you sweep across. Okay. So if white plays here, what black will do next is to actually just simply play a simple move over here. So this is like a quiet move for black. And if you reverse the position, you'll realize that in the first place, A5 is accessible to both colors. So what white should do is to snatch a spot first. So I'll call this position a competitive square between both colors. So after playing this, black will be forced to play A6. And upon playing A6, he will capture this distance and eat away his mobility towards this area. So he run out of options here, after which white can still proceed to do this. And obviously will win the game because the position is quite sweeping. I mean, of course, black could delay a bit by playing this instead, making white earn access into A1 by maybe this move or this move. But yes, the idea is white does not have to immediately attack the unbalanced edge because there's a more important square to play in this case. And that's to block black's quiet move at A5. Okay, let's move on to the next position. Okay, avoid forming adjacent edges where opponent can gain tempo or capture an unbalanced edge by attacking one edge. Okay, what do I mean? Okay, for this spot position, it is Black's turn to play. You may want to pause the video for a moment to actually study the position. Okay, so the main thing is Black has an unbalanced edge at the bottom here, and White does not have any access to this area. So it will appear that White is running out of moves. So because of that, as Black, you are most likely tempted to just capture this edge. But there's a problem by forming an edge here beside your unbalanced edge. And the thing is, White could actually carry out attack in this manner by playing the C square at A7. If Black takes the corner, White will just wedge in and continue sweeping in this manner. Okay, so for this board position is actually winning for White. So let's go back a few steps. And in the event if Black does not want to take A8 and decides to play somewhere else, like G5, White will gain extra tempo at A7 and at A2, and Black still have to play one more on the outside here. So which means Black is losing tempo in this case. So the idea is if you want to form an edge besides the unbalanced edge over here, to consider whether you can actually afford to give away the unbalanced edge. Okay, and if you're wondering, in this case, where should Black play? Move like this will be suitable. Okay, mainly because this move removes the E7 this over here. So why is so important about this is that if this is not removed, and let's say Black plays this move instead, White could actually attack this unbalanced edge here by playing B7 because E7 gives access to B7. Okay, so this move will be suitable because it removes this. Okay, let us look at another board position. Okay, we are now at the final board position, which is the cream of the crop for this video. It is Black's turn to play. So you will definitely want to pause this video and figure out the full sequence for Black to actually win this game. Okay, so from here, the first correct move will be actually G2 for Black. Okay, so the other unbalanced edges should not be working because if let's say this is the bottom edge is being attacked, White could actually play inside here and Black have no access into these spots. Likewise for B2, if Black attacks the unbalanced edge on the left, White could actually play into A2 without flipping the second row. So this is the only possible one for the start. So now it's White's turn, and White will most likely take this. He will not play G7 and surrender the corner for sweeping. So after this move, it is Black's turn. Black's correct move here will be to play B2 So if white takes a1, black can actually just go into a2 and win the game. So it's actually quite sweeping here. So black could play here, and black could still play the last two squares after that. Okay, over here, playing h2 will be wrong. So what white will do is, white will play into g7. Okay, so black cannot play b2 in this case because it will cause this to happen, and white will still have access into a1. So what black could do here is play h8, but you realize white does not have to immediately enter g8 because black has no access along this direction into here. So white could do this, forcing black to play very bad moves over here. So that is why h2 in this position is wrong. So after b2, white will not do this and give black a2 easily. What white will do is play into g7. Okay, black cannot play here because this will happen. So black will be forced to take h8, after which white will play this. Okay, and black will be forced to play into g8. This is not likely. If this happens, white plays a2, black cannot go in. So this has to happen first. After which, after white play here, black will have the remaining three moves. This, and this. And black will win by 6 pieces. Okay, so for this video, we covered stoner traps and unbalanced edges. Do remember to click the like button below if you have not done so. And thanks for watching.